What's going on? How y'all doing, YouTube? What's up? So it's hard to believe it's been 31 years with Kurt Cobain. Untimely. It seems just like yesterday. Um, I remember being on the outskirts of Seattle, actually back then with a friend. It was a pretty sad day. It was a windy, breezy day. If you ever been in the Northwest, you know April has this very haunting type of breeze. And it was a trip because I remember everything going on with the cat. You know, Nevermind was a big record. I didn't really get the Bleach record at first, but I was there when Nevermind dropped and the whole thing, Teen Spirit and all that blew up. I remember the Unplugged album and Utero, all that. So I definitely caught that whole Seattle scene, and he led the way. And of course, with Slater Kenny and the whole thing with him and Courtney Love and the whole thing. So, it's still eerie to this day. I remember going to the Seattle Pop Museum, seeing the artifacts, and you could almost feel his aura there. You could definitely feel his writings. He was a person of the people. Um, we so busy to talk about Tupac and Biggie and Easy to an extent, people we lost in the '90s, but Kurt Cobain is just as, or even as much more as Tupac was, if you must know. I mean, we really never got the totality of everything. I know it was deeper than what it was said, but he was a pretty strong cat who spoke his mind, left a lasting impact as a writer. Musically, I like some of the production. I wasn't blown away by the music per se, but as a poet, the dude was pretty deep, and his voice definitely had an energy and an emotion. And I think that's one of the things that connected. You know, one of those people you could feel that the soul. So many people that made so much money in that time that's passed. And sometimes you don't even think about, like, it seems just like yesterday. And a lot of heads was feeling Kurt Cobain. A lot. Um, he really struck a chord with a lot of folk. But not in just the music that you style and you just are quite a lot, because he was a writer, he was an artist, he drew, played, and he made it look easy. When you have that kind of skyrocket success, kind of blow up like they did, you're a chosen one. Because they were the ones that really kicked the door of that Seattle scene in the '90s. Others came along and had maybe even bigger success, like Pearl Jam. And I was a bigger fan of Soundgarden. Rest in peace to Chris Cornell. And I respected Alice in Chains and all that. But Nirvana and what Cobain did was like, whoa, made a statement, made an impact. And I don't think we ever got true justice about how it all went down. It's a lot of money made. I remember the box set came out in '04, but I don't think we ever got the truth with everything in totality. It's just that I still had those memories. Um, I remember being at the park with an acquaintance of mine. She and I were co-workers, and we were just kind of reminiscing about him, because it was kind of like really eerie, and it put things in perspective in a real way. So that's how I kind of remember that time. And it seems just like yesterday. This is a funny thing about music. Artists can hit you in different ways and where you were and what you were doing. And you can really reflect on that thing. That thing can be pretty profound. So it definitely still kind of hits me at a particular time when it's brought up. You just never know. But that's with people in general, but especially under circumstances that you just can't really explain. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like, hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. And remembering Kurt Cobain still feels like it was unresolved. Wow.